Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to GTW Brawl, and we're starting off with Amber Charlotte coming out to the ring. We're live here at the Yokohama Arena here at Kanawaka, Japan. I bet you feel really good about yourself, don't you, Witch? Congratulations, you got your receipt. You won your little match. But you could not leave it at that. You had to take it further. You had to assault me and use that table. So here's what I'm going to do. After I finish what I started with Amanda Price at Rising Sun, I am making you my personal target. I am not going to challenge. I am going to beat you in a match. I am going to tear you to pieces. I am going to rip off your limbs, beat you until you no longer stand, and then I am going to do what anyone would do when they have a witch problem. I'm going to burn you. Oh, here's Amanda Price. Oh, princess. You certainly seem to have to be as angry as ever. Oh, look who it is. It isn't Amanda Price. She did mess you up at Dystopia, but I think you may have taken your eye off the ball a little. Well, look who has finally decided to show herself. Well, I certainly did not miss my adoring fans right here in Japan. You see, you had what the witch did to you. You had it coming. From your debut, you have chosen a side. You attempted to end my career. Then you target my good friend for no reason other than wanting to have my back. You're pals. The old gods always believed an eye for an eye. You put me in the hospital, and you attempted to do the same to the witch last week. All the witch did after your match, a match she won by the way, was give you a taste of your own medicine. You see, when it comes to the Rising Sun, this Sunday on pay-per-view, it's going to be very personal between me and you. It's gonna be an underground match. No ropes to box us in, no disqualification to hold us back, and a crowd to surround the ring up close and personal so they can see what I'm going to do to you at the Tokyo Dome. I hope you're ready, because whether it is a submission, pinfall, or knockout, I am going to be the one to end your career before it even starts. I'll see you in Tokyo. And there's Amanda Price telling Amber Charlotte what's up, laying down the foundation of what's going to be their matchup this Sunday at the Rising Sun live on pay-per-view. It's going to be Amanda Price versus Amber Charlotte in an underground match. No ropes, no disqualification. The crowd will be past the barricade, right up against the ring, up close and personal. That's right. The match can only end by pinfall, submission, or knockout. That's going to be this Sunday on pay-per-view live here on Infinite Fantasy Twitch at twitch.tv. Live streaming at 7 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Central. But don't go away. We got tonight's Brawl opening match for Wednesday night Brawl in Japan as Nathan O'Gray take on Shinosuke Nakamura. That's coming up next.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall. Making his way to the ring from Houston, Texas, weighing in at 275 pounds, Nathaniel Gray!
It was our last show at Dystopia where Shinnosuke Nakamura was going one-on-one with Barry Jenkins. And Nathaniel Gray interfered in the middle match, attacking Barry Jenkins, causing Shinnosuke Nakamura a disqualification. The two end up exchanging words backstage, and now Nathaniel Gray will be settling things with Shinnosuke Nakamura right here in his home country, Japan, in this one-on-one match. However, I can't help but things are hot between these three wrestlers, not just between Nathaniel Gray and Shinnosuke Nakamura, but Barry Jenkins also has unfinished business with these two as well. Who knows what role he has to play in all this? All I know is tonight, it's Nathaniel Gray's turn to get his one-on-one match with this devastating wrestler from Japan.
And his opponent from Kyoto, Japan, weighing in at 220 pounds, Shinsuke Nakamura!
And here comes Shinnosuke Nakamura making his way to the ring. He has a month ago made his debut in Grand Tour Wrestling, looking to make a name for himself, knowing that we were about to have our first pay-per-view event in Japan. And he says, for the honor of his country, he has dominated the WWE and now looks to dominate Grand Tour Wrestling in the honor of his people here in his home country. He first started with Andre Armstrong, however, suffered a devastating defeat and has since been attacking both Barry Jenkins and Nathaniel Gray in the middle of their own rivalry. Shinnosuke Nakamura on Dystopia the other week had a match against Barry Jenkins. However, lost by disqualification as Nathaniel Gray came in and attacked Barry Jenkins mid-match. And now this is Shinnosuke Nakamura's chance to get even with Nathaniel Gray. And we're off. Nathaniel Gray starting out strong with two huge right hooks on the Nakamura, taking him down. And there's Nathaniel Gray with his brutish brawling style. Gray just completely pounding on Shinnosuke Nakamura, already going for the pin. That raw strength that he's known for, that is carried throughout his career, in his hardcore career. However, this is not a no DQ match. Nathaniel Gray will have to get by his wits and skill in this matchup. And here comes Gray using a fisherman suplex on Nakamura. And a devastating knee right into the face. We heard on social media earlier today what Nathaniel Gray fully intends to do here tonight on BRAWL, and that is humiliate Shinnosuke Nakamura in front of his people right here in his home country. And here comes Gray with a moonsault off the second rope, once again taking down Nakamura. starting to fight back, using those martial art hits that he's known for. His brutal style. Fighting fire with fire against Nathan Gray. However, he might have gotten a little ahead of himself. Shinosuke attempting to take off the turnbuckle pad, and Nathan Gray, who is fully familiar with hardcore matches, completely aware of those tactics, stopping Shinosuke Nakamura. And I might remind you, this is not a no DQ match, despite the background these two have. But it's not stopping for Shinosuke Nakamura from playing dirty. However, Gray able to stop on his tracks, once again powering his way through this matchup. Shinosuke Nakamura in a lot of trouble here as Gray goes for the count. 1, 2, 3, and a quick win by Nathan O'Gray. Oh, here goes Barry Jenkins coming to the ring, attacking both Nathan O'Gray and Shinosuke Nakamura. It was Barry Jenkins who got attacked by Nathan O'Gray on Dystopia last week, causing Shinosuke Nakamura to get DQ'd, and here comes Barry Jenkins now getting a seat on both men. Things are starting off hot right here on Brawl. And ladies and gentlemen, I'm now getting word from the back. This is coming directly from director Charles Elliot in light of the recent interference and attacks by all three men. He is now making it official that this Sunday, at our pay-per-view event, The Rising Sun, live streaming here at InfiniteFantasyTwitch.tv, this Sunday, 7 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Central, we're going to be having a triple threat match. That's right. A triple threat match this Sunday's pay-per-view between Barry Jenkins, Nathan O'Gray, and Shinosuke Nakamura. That will be live this Sunday on Infinite Fantasy Twitch's pay-per-view event. Ladies and gentlemen, don't go away. When we come back, we'll have Victoria Wong in the backstage interviewing the mighty Hercules about tonight's main event. Victoria Wong here. I am with who could very well be the future director of GTW after tonight, the mighty Hercules. Yes, I like the sound of that. The mighty Hercules, soon to be ruler of Grand Tour Wrestling. I must say, you look very confident in tonight's matchup. As I should! Everything that has transpired has been through my design. I know that Mr. Elliot got the position of director because he owned a healthy stock of GTW. I knew he put his son above all else. I am a man of my word. As soon as my demands were finalized on contract, I let him go, unharmed. However, tonight, Mr. Elliot, I will not extend you the same courtesy. You are no real competitor. You have never trained as a fighter. I, however, am a former World Heavyweight Champion, a former United States Champion, and a former Grand Tour Champion. Make sure your son is not out at the ringside, because he will not want to see as I destroy you, as I beat you to an inch of your life. When I am done, you will not only lose GTW to me, but you will be breathing through a tube, and I will enjoy every second of it. And what of your title match against Steven Dynamite this Sunday at the main event of the Rising Sun pay-per-view? The sun will indeed rise this Sunday on the big pay-per-view event. I will by then be the ruler of GTW, and I will take what is left of Dynamite, end his career, and use his Grand Tour title as my trophy. Here we are, starting our tour in Japan, and still no sign of this so-called chosen one. He is afraid of me, as he should. In his own famous words, Stephen Dynamite, you have been in the hospital because of me for a month now. And when you show up to defend your title this Sunday, Dynamite, you have been chosen. Ladies and gentlemen, we're back, and we're about to have some tag team action. We're about to have Truth and Consequences go toe-to-toe with the number one contenders of the women's tag team titles, Damage Control, coming up right here on Wednesday night, Brawl in Japan.
The following contest is a tag team match set for one fall. Introducing first, representing Damage Control from Tokyo, Japan, Io Sky.
Here comes Io Sky, one half of Damage Control. It was only a month ago where her and Asuka had made their first appearance in Grand Tour Wrestling, having an eye on Kana Nanako and Kumiko Tanaka, the women's tag team champions. This Sunday, they will be set to challenge the two for the tag team titles. Here, live streaming on Twitch, 7 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Central.
And her partner, representing the Kabuki Warriors from Osaka, Japan, Asuka!
And here comes Asuka, the leader of Damage Control. Some say was Io Sky's mentor back in the WWE. And though the two still very much active WWE wrestlers, can't help but take the opportunity to take home the GTW Tag Team Gold here in their home country of Japan. Her and Io Sky set to challenge the Tag Team Champions, hoping to win in front of their people this Sunday. And once again, the Tag Team title match will take place at the big pay-per-view, The Rising Sun, this Sunday, live streaming on Infinite Fantasy Twitch.tv. And anyone who misses these events can catch the replays and reruns on the Infinite Fantasy If YouTube channel.
Dorothy Lane and Tiffany Lane. Truth and Consequences.
And here comes Dorothy and Tiffany, the Lane sisters. Together, they form Truth and Consequences, making their way to the ring, here to challenge the number one contenders here tonight for Brawl's opening tag team match. This will be one of two tag team matches that will be on the card tonight, as later on we'll have the Outlaws taking on Chase U. But first, for the women's division, we got Damage Control, who will be facing the tag team champions this Sunday, going into this tag team match against Truth and Consequences. And you can see these two sisters completely deranged. Something out of a horror movie, these two. And it's quite ironic that we have these living nightmarish dolls taking on the demon Asuka with her partner Io Sky here tonight. And the ref calling for the bell. We're starting off with Dorothy Lane and Io Sky as the two legal women in tonight's tag team match. Io Sky, a longtime veteran, skilled wrestler, a former women's champion in the WWE. Slowly taking apart Dorothy Lane in tonight's tag team match. And there's Io Sky working on the leg of Dorothy Lane right now. Dorothy seemingly in a lot of trouble as Io Sky slowly takes her apart. And here she goes, turning around into a sharpshooter. But no, Dorothy Lane manages to counter and reverse it into a drop kick. Dorothy now gaining the advantage over Io Sky, but Io Sky once again fighting back, laying in those strikes to the ribs. And a takedown by Io. Here comes the count, 1, but no, Dorothy kicks out. Io with the grapple. And here comes a scoop body slam by Io Sky. She walks over, tagging in Asuka, now the legal partner in this matchup. And there's Asuka continuing to work on the leg of Dorothy Lane that Io started damaging in the opening of this match. Systematically taking apart one half of Truth and Consequences. Here comes Asuka getting to the top rope with a big front splash on the Dorothy Lane. This could be a preview of what we're going to see this Sunday at Rising Sun as Asuka and Io Sky challenge the tag team champions. And there's Tiffany Lane getting in the ring, breaking up the count, saving Dorothy. There's Dorothy with an Irish whip, but Asuka manages to counter, throwing the elbow to the leg, but it wasn't enough. Dorothy still keeping the momentum going with a drop kick onto Asuka. And here comes Dorothy applying the armbar on Asuka, but Asuka skillfully able to maneuver her way out of it, reversing into a head scissors. Dorothy Lane with a European uppercut, knocking Asuka down, and here she goes, tagging in her sister, Tiffany. And Tiffany Lane with a swanton right on to Asuka. She follows up with an unorthodox moonsault, landing knees first right into the sternum of Asuka. Tiffany, known for her high-flying prowess, use that to her advantage, but Asuka showing a little bit of her acrobatic style of her own against Tiffany Lane. And here comes the pin. 1, 2, but Tiffany Lane kicks out. Tiffany with a takedown onto Asuka, and here she goes. Both women getting in the tag. Io Sky and Dorothy Lane, once again, the legal women in tonight's tag team match. Here comes Dorothy dragging Io into the middle of the ring. And you gotta imagine what this means to Io Sky right now, wrestling in this ring right now, being in her home country here in Japan. Showing off in front of her people. And here comes Io, working on the arm of Dorothy Lane. This is a must-win for Io Sky here tonight. to lose right here in her home country in front of her home people. Would mean nothing but dishonor. Io giving this everything she's got. And a flying DDT by Io Sky. However, Tiffany Lane was able to break up before the referee could even get the count. Io now tagging in her mentor, Asuka. Asuka seeing Dorothy getting the tag to her sister Tiffany, and she comes in hot with the clothesline, immediately going on the offensive on Tiffany Lane. And Asuka taking down both of the Lane sisters, both members of Truth and Consequences, laying in the middle of the ring. Asuka single-handedly taking out both women. Asuka was an amazing flying kick. Spinning the momentum right into the face of Tiffany, and a big high flying maneuver off the top rope outside the ring. Luckily for the Lane sisters, Tiffany is a glutton for punishment and was able to take it, trying to fight back. Asuka though, not letting up. Asuka known for her brutal style, renowned all over Japan. And there's Asuka breaking up the count. And she attempts to get a piece of Dorothy Lane, but Dorothy, this time sees it coming. She's becoming wise to Asuka. That little exchange might have been just what Tiffany Lane needed to gain the advantage over 1/2 of damage control. You can see both members of Truth and Consequences being completely calculating here against Asuka. Tiffany off the top rope with the front splash right into the back of her opponent. Here comes the ref. 1, 2, but Io Sky manages to break up the count in the nick of time. And here comes Tiffany. Going for a leg scissors onto Asuka. She's now climbing to the top rope. This demented high flyer with a huge high flying move. 1, 2, but no, Asuka getting the shoulder up at the very last moment. Tiffany using the full momentum on Asuka, throwing her back right into her knee right before tagging in her sister Dorothy Lane. And there's Asuka with a devastating elbow, spinning it right into the face of Dorothy, and here she is now tagging in Io Sky. And there's Io with a huge kick and a European uppercut. There's Io goes for a high-risk maneuver. Moonsault. Here comes the pin. Will this be enough? 1, 2, no. Tiffany breaks up the count. Here comes Io with an Irish whip. Getting Tiffany out of the ring. Now, once again, working on the legal partner, Dorothy. An Irish whip to the corner. And there's Io just scraping that elbow across the face of Dorothy Lane. Now tagging in her partner, Asuka. And here's Asuka taunting her opponent. She goes to run in. Dorothy manages to get out of the way, but wasn't enough as Asuka now gets her in a sleeper hold. Will Dorothy tap out? No, she manages to squirm her way out. Here comes Asuka with an Irish whip into Dorothy into the partner's corner. Dorothy throwing the elbow for Asuka to get the hot tag in. And she rolls her into a pin. 1, 2, but Asuka kicks out. Barely, but still kicks out nonetheless. Here comes Asuka with the elbow right into Dorothy Lane. And a kick to the back of the head of Dorothy. She goes tagging in Asuka. Asuka tagging in Io Sky now. Io throwing her momentum off the ropes, delivering a devastating drop kick into Dorothy Lane. An Irish whip into the corner. But here comes Dorothy fighting back, now throwing Asuka in the corner, and a big chop to the chest. Dorothy running across, throwing a big elbow. And here comes Dorothy applying the submission hold on the Io Sky, but Asuka comes in with the save. Dorothy now attacking Asuka, making her pay for breaking out the submission hold. Asuka out cold outside the ring right now. It's just Io alone against these two women. And there's a backbreaker by Dorothy Lane. Io Sky trying to skirmish outside the ring, trying to get a breather. Asuka and Tiffany now fighting inside, all four women now fighting outside the ring. This match has gotten out of control as now all four women now fighting outside the ring. The referee starting the count out. And there's Dorothy and Asuka exchanging blows outside. And there's Dorothy with a DDT. The two legal women now grappling, and Dorothy throws Io Sky into the stairs. The referee now at 6. We could have a count out here. Io Sky trying to fight back. Io desperately rolling in the ring. We're 1 second away from a count out. But no, Io Sky breaks up the count. We are in Io Sky's home country after all. She is fighting in front of her people. A count out will just not do for Io Sky right now. However, she may pay for that mistake. Her chivalry may be unjustified as Dorothy Lane gets that armbar, but Io Sky manages to wiggle out. Another European uppercut by Io. Here goes the pin. 1, 2, 3, and Damage Control wins. And what's this? The tag team champions have come out. It's Kana Nanako and Kumiko Tanaka talking trash out at the entranceway towards the challengers. Remember, it's going to be Kumiko Tanaka and Kana Nanako defending the women's tag team titles against Io Sky and Asuka this Sunday on our pay-per-view event, The Rising Sun, live streaming this Sunday on Infinite Fantasy Twitch.tv, 7 p.m., 6 p.m. Eastern. Ladies and gentlemen, don't go anywhere. We still got more to come. We still have the #1 contender match for the United States Women's title, Fuego Lopez versus Jasmine Nix, coming up. And also still to come, Andre Chase and Duke Hudson of Chase U will be taking on Justin Hicks and Billy Cactus in tag team action later tonight. We're also scheduled to hear Akima Sake as she'll be addressing her people of Japan of her women's title match against Brenda Bison this Sunday. And don't forget, our main event, Hercules, will be challenging Director Charles Elliot for control of GTW. That's all to come up right after this quick break. Dad, I've really been thinking, You should really consider letting me be your understudy tonight. If you face Hercules, he is going to destroy you. He is going to put you in the hospital, and you will lose the company to him. We are not going through this exercise again, son. This is my responsibility. I will face him tonight. Besides, it's already in writing. This is BS, Pops. You never had a single match in your life. I am trained. You're not. It makes no sense to go out there. So what if you are trained? You're no match for Hercules. I've seen what he can do. There are men he has beaten. I'm not going to lose my company and see my son get eliminated out there. I did all this to keep you safe. So now I have to watch you become a vegetable then. That is it. You're just going to march out to your execution. Oh, don't worry, Damien. Your Pops always has a plan.
The following is scheduled for one fall, making her way to the ring from Tala, Jalisco, Mexico, Lopez!
Coming up right now, we have a singles match in the women's division. A number one contender match between Fuego Lopez and Jasmine Nix. Jasmine Nix, the former Women's Intercontinental Champion, will be competing tonight. The winner of tonight's matchup will be facing the United States Women's Champion this Saturday on Dystopia.
And her opponent from New York, Jasmine Nix.
Here comes Jasmine Nix. The last we saw her, she lost the Women's Intercontinental Championship to Megan at Summer Bash in that no DQ match. However, over a month later, she's now back in the ring, ready to redeem herself. If she can beat Fuego Lopez tonight, she'll have a chance to face Paige Evans this Saturday on Dystopia for the Women's United States Championship. And we're off. Here comes Jasmine Nix, throwing in a huge cross to the face of Fuego Lopez, followed by a big moonsault spring off the top rope. Jasmine Nix has a lot to prove in tonight's match. As I mentioned earlier, the last we saw of her, she lost the Women's Intercontinental Championship to Megan at that no DQ match at Summer Bash, our last pay-per-view event. If she can beat Lopez here tonight, she'll have a chance to face Paige Evans this Saturday at Dystopia and be able to claim the Women's United States Championship for herself. And wouldn't that be something, winning the United States Championship in Japan of all places? That'd be quite an achievement for this young woman right here on Saturday. But first, she must get through Fuego Lopez, because Fuego Lopez has just as much of an opportunity of winning that championship as Jasmine Nix does. It all comes down to whoever wins tonight's matchup. Here comes Jasmine Nix, throwing Fuego Lopez off the ropes. She goes under, and a huge punch to the gut. Using that momentum to add in that extra power, and then a straight hit right into the nose, cracking the cartilage of Lopez. And there's Jasmine Nix working on that arm of Fuego Lopez and driving those knees right into the back of Lopez right there. But Fuego Lopez manages to take down Jasmine. There she is, amping up the crowd. Springing up the ropes with the Hurricanrana. Jasmine next, now in a lot of trouble as Fuego Lopez gains the advantage in his #1 contender match. And another reminder, the winner will be facing Paige Evans this Saturday on Dystopia for the Women's United States Championship. That's what tonight's match is all about. This is a qualifying match for the championship goal. Nia Jax brutally beating down Lopez. She is hungry. She wants that title. She doesn't want to win. She needs to win. This is all about redemption for her. Redemption for losing to Megan at Summer Bash, for letting the Intercontinental Championship slip through her fingers. And you can see it in her match with how brutal she's taken this match to Fuego Lopez. However, Lopez now fighting back. The crowd cheering her on. Fuego Lopez seems to be the favorite in tonight's matchup. Right here at the Yokohama Arena. Here comes Lopez, getting on that second rope. She's calling on to the crowd. Hurricanrana. Lopez bouncing off the ropes with a huge head takedown. But Jasmine next manages to muster up enough energy to counterattack. Lopez gained the shoulder up at the last second. Nia Jax very frustrated right now. And there's a huge knee to the face. 1, 2, but Lopez again kicks out. Lopez rolling out of the ring. Jasmine next, just taking her time, letting Lopez recover. No, she's not. She was just getting herself amped up for that high-flying move, taking down Lopez, beating her at her own game. Lopez knowing for her high-flying acrobatic style. Jasmine next, fighting fire with fire in his #1 contender match. And here comes Jasmine next with those devastating knees to the head. Now remember, this is a #1 contender match, so if both women get counted out, that's going to make it difficult to determine which one of these two will be facing Paige Evans. Here's Jasmine next, throwing Lopez back into the ring, and here comes a moonsault. Jasmine next going for the pin. 1, 2, but no, Lopez gets the shoulder up and manages to kick out. Jasmine now lining up Lopez. There goes, just dragging her with an arm drag across the ring. Lopez once again kicking out. Jasmine is completely frustrated. She needs to win this match if she wants to advance to Dystopia to face the U.S. champion. Lopez making her way to the top rope. The luchador high-flying style may pay off here. 1, 2, 3, and Fuego Lopez gets the win. It's going to be Lopez versus Paige Evans this Saturday on Dystopia. Fuego Lopez will be challenging Paige Evans this Saturday on Dystopia for the Women's United States Championship. Ladies and gentlemen, coming up next, after that amazing win by Fuego Lopez, my heart is pounding. I can't wait to see that U.S. title match. But before we get to any of that, we got more tag team action as Chase U takes on the Outlaws right here on BRAWL in Japan.
The following is a tag team match set for one fall. On the way to the ring, accompanied by Thea Hale at a combined weight of 469 pounds. Andre Chase and Duke Hudson Chase University.
We have Andre Chase and Duke Hudson as they're being accompanied to the ring by Thea Hall. Together, they form Chase University. They had an impressive tag team win last week on Dystopia, and they're hoping to keep that streak alive right here on BRAWL as they make their debut here in Japan. This will be their first match fighting overseas.
And their opponents at a combined weight of 456 pounds, Justin Hicks and Billy Cactus, the Outlaws.
Justin Hicks and Billy Cactus, together they form the Outlaws. This tag team, known for their dirty tactics. They are as American as they can get with their gimmick. However, they might find themselves fish out of water here in Japan. These two will be part of a triple threat tag team ladder match against the Hardy Boys and the Dudley Boys, as the three teams will be competing for the GTW tag team titles. That'll be this Sunday at our pay-per-view event, The Rising Sun, live streaming at Infinite Fantasy Twitch.tv, 7 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Central. It looks like we're starting off with Andre Chase and Justin Hicks as the legal men in tonight's tag team match. Justin Hicks immediately going for those dirty tactics, scraping Andre Chase's face across the ring canvas. And there he is, throwing his full body weight onto Andre Chase, looking to do damage to his back there, but Andre Chase immediately throwing that elbow. As the Outlaws are known for their strategic, dirty tactics, Chase U is known for being strategic. They might not be the most brawny wrestlers, but they are definitely one of the smartest in the ring. However, Justin Hicks is deciding to win with some good old brute force, now tagging his partner, Billy Cactus. Andre Chase getting the tag in onto Duke Hudson. We now have two new legal men in this matchup. This Sunday on pay-per-view, we're going to be having the Outlaws competing against the Dudley Boys, also competing against the reigning tag team champions, the Hardys. The Hardy Boys defeating the Dudley Boys at Summer Bash for the GTW Tag Team titles will now be defending against the Dudleys in a rematch. But however, now there's a new twist as the Outlaws have also secured their way in a #1 contender spot via annoying the hell out of director Charles Elliot week in and week out until he finally gave in. However, he insisted that the Outlaws really wanted part of that tag team title match. It would be against both the Hardys and the Dudleys, and it won't just be any triple threat tag team match, but it will be a ladder match. In order for the Outlaws to secure the tag team titles this Sunday, they'll have to climb up a 16-foot ladder and grab the titles that'll be hanging over the ring. And they'll have to do it while facing what is arguably the two greatest tag teams of all time, Bubba Ray and Devon of Team 3D, and Matt and Jeff of the Hardy Boys. And the Outlaws now giving us a little preview of what they're capable of this Sunday as they give us a little double team action against Andre Chase in this tag team match. Andre Chase now giving Billy Cactus an Irish rope, and there's an arm drag by Andre Chase. He now has him against the corner. Andre Chase on the second rope, and he rolls Billy Cactus onto the ring canvas. Amazing technical wrestling skills by the leader of Chase University. And here comes Billy Cactus, throwing Andre Chase into the corner. He goes for a swing, but misses. Andre Chase ducks and counters. However, Justin Hicks does manage to get his cheap shot in. Andre Chase trying to apply a submission hold, but he wasn't able to hold it. Probably a little weakened from that cheap shot by Justin Hicks. Now Billy Cactus bringing Andre Chase to the top rope. You can see Billy Cactus has nothing but bad intentions here. And there's a Samoan suplex off the top rope. Duke Hudson was bringing up the count, but it seems the referee got hit in the crossfire. I think the referee is out. Here comes Andre Chase throwing Justin Hicks into the partner's corner. Another Irish whip. Back to the corner, clothesline. Amazing athleticism by Andre Chase. The referee now stirring back to consciousness. Andre now tagging his partner, Duke Hudson. And here comes Hudson with a blow to the back of Justin Hicks. Hicks manages to get the knee in though. Here he comes running across the ring with a big clothesline. Justin Hicks, known for using those big power moves. However, doesn't seem to be enough to take on the strategic, athletic, technical prowess of Duke Hudson. Here comes the pin. 1, 2, no! Justin Hicks gets up before the 2. Here comes Duke Hudson with the Irish whip into the corner. And look at those shots to the ribs. Slowly weakening Justin Hicks there. Once again, Chase University known for strategically picking apart their opponents. And here's Duke Hudson sizing them up. An amazing razor's edge maneuver by Duke Hudson. He would have probably gotten the 3 if not for Billy Cactus breaking up the pin count there. And here goes Duke Hudson with that huge combo on the Justin Hicks. There he is slowly stomping on the face of his opponent. And that raw power throwing it to the corner. Here's a double team maneuver by Chase University. Amazing maneuver by Andre Chase. 1, 2, but no, Justin Hicks gets the shoulder up. Andre Chase now in the corner. Justin Hicks walking towards Billy Cactus, who looks like he's going for a tag. I think Justin Hicks had just about enough. Rather than capitalizing, he decided to bring the freshman in. Here comes Billy Cactus, the other half of the Outlaws, the other half of the #1 contenders for the tag team titles. Now taking on Andre Chase. There's the pin. 1, 2, but Andre Chase kicks out. He goes for the pin again. 1, but again, Andre Chase gets the shoulder up. Billy Cactus goes for the pin for a third time. This time using the ropes as leverage. But it wasn't enough. Andre Chase able to kick out despite Billy Cactus using the ropes as leverage. Again, the Outlaws known for using their dirty tactics. Here comes Billy Cactus being thrown against the corner. Andre Chase really letting him have it now. But Billy Cactus fights his way out. He goes to throw Andre Chase to the corner. But Andre with the receipt. Now, an Irish whip towards Duke Hudson. He tags in his partner. The two, once again, going for a double team maneuver. Amazing teamwork by Chase University. Here goes the pin. 1, but Justin Hicks breaks up the count. Billy Cactus, an Irish whip. Duke Hudson reverses. And there's a big hammer right into the back of Billy Cactus. Billy Cactus fighting back though. You can see that Cactus is taking a beating right now. Bruises all over his body. Here comes a double team maneuver by the Outlaws. With a double power bomb. Justin Hicks with the pin. 1, 2, but Andre Chase manages to break up the count at the very last moment. Once again, Justin Hicks using that raw power of his to take down Duke Hudson. A double axe handle right off the second rope. And now he is lining him up, stalking his prey. Irish whip into the corner. Justin Hicks tags in Billy Cactus. The Outlaws, again, using their teamwork. That teamwork that they're going to have to rely on when they face both the Dudleys and the Hardy Boys in that triple threat ladder match this Sunday at the Rising Sun pay-per-view event. And here comes Duke Hudson taking down Billy Cactus. Justin Hicks immediately breaking up the count.
There's the tag.
Duke Hudson now tagging in Andre Chase, the captain of Chase University. Now the legal man in this tag team match. An Irish whip into the corner. He tags in Duke Hudson. More of that Chase University teamwork. And a lateral spiral by Duke Hudson. 1, 2, but Billy Cactus kicks out. here comes a bulldog by Billy Cactus. He goes to tag in Justin Hicks. Justin Hicks with a takedown on the Duke Hudson. An Irish whip into the corner. He tags in Billy Cactus, the Outlaws, once again. Going for that double team work. Billy Cactus now battering Hudson's head right to the top turnbuckle. And a kick to right in the middle of the leg tendons, damaging those muscles. There goes the ref going for the count, but Andre Chase manages to break up before there can even be a one. Justin Hicks being tagged in, now the legal man, as he now continues this offensive against Duke Hudson. And there's a sidewalk slam by Justin Hicks. Here comes the pin. 1, 2, 3, and the Outlaws win.
Here are your winners, Justin Hicks and Billy Cactus, the Outlaws.
Will we be seeing a preview of Sunday night? Is this a sign of things to come as the Outlaws take on the tag team champions, the Hardy Boys, and the other #1 contenders, Team 3D, in that triple threat ladder match coming this Sunday? We'll find out on our pay-per-view event, live streaming at Infinite Fantasy Twitch.tv, 7 p.m. Central, Eastern and 6 p.m. Central. And don't forget, folks, if you miss a live event here on Twitch, you can always catch the rerun on YouTube. And that includes Wednesday Night Brawl, Saturday Night's Dystopia. Underground will be on YouTube most Sunday nights, with the exception of pay-per-view events. Don't go anywhere. We still have our main event to come, as Charles Elliot will be defending his control of Grand Tour Wrestling against the Mighty Hercules. But before that, we'll be hearing from Akima Sake as she goes to address the crowd right here in Japan. Right after a quick break. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Brawl. Coming up, we'll be hearing from Akima Sake, the #1 contender for the Women's Championship. This Sunday on the Big Rising Sun pay-per-view event, she will be facing the Women's Champion, the Russian Assassin, Brenda Bison, for the women's title in a submission match. And she's on her way to the ring right now as she'll be addressing her people of Japan. At Akima Sake's request, she prefers to address the live crowd tonight in her native language, in Japanese. However, I have with me at the announcer's desk Victoria Wong, who will be translating what Akima Sake will be saying in English for the audience at home right here in America. Victoria Wong, I'd like to welcome you here at the announcer's desk. Thank you, Infinite. I am honored to join you here at the announcer's desk, as I will be translating for Akima Sake as she comes out to the ring. And here comes Akima Sake coming out now, ready to address her people of Japan. Bakako nika ni ko narake hanate arasatiriso. How good it is to be right here in my home country of Japan. Konosho no Nichinope Hinote tu Namakanone Watashi wa Ikanara Inakata o Nakurata Tataro. This Sunday at Rising Sun, I will be given a great honor. Tonight, watashi ga Tanaka domo ni chosose shinakusen ni yosho shinashite toke. And when I compete, when I win the women's championship at the Tokyo Dome, Barande Bison o Tanashite GTW Toshi Champion ni Tanata Toke. When I defeat Brenda Bison to become the new GTW Women's Champion, Yujin Kosunoko Arshirasu to Tetache no Made, in front of my friends, family, and loved ones. Watashi wa jinabate Jineshin Dakuja Nakuku Kurita Dacha Dasakazikoro Dakanakatuku Sanake di Manapatro Indinana Kanachiro Watashi no Manakro Nian ni Mario o Maturachi Desro. I will not only bring honor to myself, not only to Grand Tour Wrestling, but to my home country, the greatest country in the entire world, Japan. Basanon, Nasamachinashe, O Tano Shimatanasa Dinabasro, Kanosro, Nichanatre Sarako, no Sinistro ga Suri Submission yo Yene. Miss Bison, I look forward to our submission match this Sunday. May the best competitor win. Thank you, Victoria Wong, for coming here at the announcer's desk to translate for the American audience. Akima Sake addressing her people in her home country of Japan, declaring that she will defeat Brenda Bison this Sunday in the submission match for the women's title. We got a major fight card coming up for this Sunday's pay-per-view event. We're going to be having a triple threat match between Nathan O'Gray, Barry Jenkins, and Shinosuke Nakamura. The World Heavyweight title will be on the line as Dio Sebastian defends against Archangel. The women's tag team titles will be on the line as Asuka and Io Sky of Damage Control will be challenging the women's tag team champions Kumiko Tanaka and Kana Nanako. Chosen will be defending his Intercontinental title as Benjamin Bourne will be given a rematch. In the submission match, it's going to be Akima Sake challenging Brenda Bison for the women's title. The GTW tag team titles will be on the line in a triple threat ladder match, as we have two of the greatest tag teams of all time, the Dudleys versus the Hardy Boys versus the Outlaws. We have a huge grudge between Amanda Price and the newest member of the Old Gods, Amber Charlotte. They exchanged their words at the beginning of tonight's show, but they'll be putting money where their mouth is this Sunday as the two face off in an underground match. No ropes, no DQ. You can only win by knockout, submission, or pinfall. And then, for the Rising Suns main event this Sunday, it's going to be the Grand Tour title on the line. The highest championship you can get in GTW, as Steven Dynamite will be defending against the mighty Hercules. That's all to come this Sunday at our pay-per-view event. Live streaming here at Infinite Fantasy /Twitch.tv. The live event will start at 7 p.m. Eastern Time, 6 p.m. Central. And remember, folks, if you missed any of the live events, you can always catch them later by subscribing to Infinite Fantasy If YouTube channel. That's Infinite Fantasy If YouTube. Also coming up for the pre-show of the Rising Sun this Saturday on Dystopia, we're going to have Fuego Lopez challenging Paige Evans for the Women's United States Championship. But now, we're going to get into tonight's main event. A few weeks ago, the Old Gods, led by Hercules, had kidnapped the son of director Charles Elliot, Damian Elliott. Holding him hostage, Charles Elliot had no choice but to give in to Hercules' demands. Demands such as Archangel getting his World Heavyweight Championship match against Dio Sebastian at the Rising Sun. On top of that, Archangel and Rebecca Troy will have a shot at the intergender tag team titles at any time of Hercules' choosing. Hercules has also been granted immunity no matter what. He cannot be fired from GTW. Hercules is now officially 100% free of consequences here in this promotion. However, there was the final demand that made things difficult for director Charles Elliot. In order to secure his son's freedom, Charles Elliot, who has no professional fighting background whatsoever, must face Hercules. Next, at tonight's main event, the winner will have control of GTW. This is a very important match, and this is not one to miss. For anyone tuning in right now, do not leave. This is a must-see match, as this may determine the fate of GTW as we know it. Charles Elliot has been a terrific director, but he is not a wrestler. And Hercules, who has beaten some of the best, if he wins, will be the new man in charge. Hercules will be the boss. This is the match that could pivot all of GTW. Dio Sebastian has been banned from the arena tonight as the Witch. As far as reports are concerned, Steven Dynamite has yet to be cleared, and we'll only be seeing him this Sunday. It's going to be Hercules one-on-one with Charles Elliot next. No backup, and one can only hope for a miracle. This match will be starting after a quick break. Ladies and gentlemen, do not go anywhere, for this historical match will be coming up next. What's this? What's going on? Is that Steven Dynamite's music? I thought Steven Dynamite wasn't cleared to wrestle yet.
The following contest
What's he doing out here?
is a special referee match. Please welcome the special referee for this match, the chosen one, Steven Dynamite.
No way. Charles Elliot, you crafty little... I don't believe it. Of course Steven Dynamite would be here. They're overseas. He has a match on Sunday. Steven Dynamite has actually been... I'm getting word from the back from Gorilla right now. Steven Dynamite actually is cleared for in-ring activity. Charles Elliot agreed to face Hercules for control of GTW. However, there was nothing in the clause of that contract saying who the referee would be. Oh my God, Charles Elliot, you are a genius. Steven Dynamite is the guest referee. This might actually give the director a fighting chance against Hercules. The Grand Tour champion has just made his return after a week, after being in the hospital for over a month now. The Chosen One is back.
And the participants, first from Orlando, Florida, weighing in at 163 pounds, Charles Elliot.
And here comes director Charles Elliot, not exactly in the most flashy ring attire, but we already knew that he wasn't exactly a wrestler to begin with. However, he knows he can't beat Hercules and Brawn, so now he's beating him with his mind. He's now pulling the only card he has left to retain control of Grand Tour Wrestling, and that's to bring in the Grand Tour champion himself, the Chosen One, Steven Dynamite, as the referee for tonight's main event matchup.
And his opponent, representing the Old Gods from Athens, Greece, weighing in at 341 pounds, the mighty, unbreakable, indestructible Hercules!
Look at the look on Hercules. He does not look happy. He does not look happy one bit. He put on this whole convoluted plan to take over Grand Tour Wrestling, thinking this was going to be the easiest win of his career. All he had to do was beat Charles Elliot, a man who has not trained in the ring a day in his life. But you can see he's eyeing Steven Dynamite, his opponent this Sunday for the Grand Tour title. And now suddenly it's weighing on him. Hercules is understanding the situation. Charles Elliot was not about to get into his ring without some kind of contingency plan. And now he's going to be wondering, is this match going to be against the director, Charles Elliot? Or is he going to be contending with the referee of Steven Dynamite? He's now wondering, will this be a fair match? He's looking around the arena, completely wary. He now understands the situation. His arch rival, his arch nemesis, the Chosen One, Steven Dynamite, the Grand Tour champion, has made his return. And I bet he can't wait to get payback on Hercules for hospitalizing him a month ago. We are starting the match. Charles Elliot looking to gain advantage on Hercules. Here he is, grabbing Hercules from behind. It looks like he might not be as much of an amateur as we thought he was, but now Hercules now has him in that headlock. Dynamite telling Hercules to lay off the pressure. And here we have a comment from Bowling God going, yeet. Welcome to the chat, Bowling God. Hercules lining Charles Elliot up with a spear. There's an Irish whip into the ropes. Hercules so far dominating in this match. Hercules now taking him down. But what's this? Dynamite. Dynamite actually refusing to count. Instead, he's caning to the crowd. Dynamite refusing to count for Hercules. I can hear Hercules whispering at Charles Elliott's ear right now saying, I'm going to make you pay for that. The more he refuses to count, the more I'm going to punish you. And there's a big power slam by Hercules as again, he's just powering away against Charles Elliot. There's a Superman punch. Wait, and there's Steven Dynamite now getting involved. And there's Charles Elliot exposing the turnbuckle. And here comes the pin. And there's a spear by Hercules. It's Dynamite again refusing to count. And once again, helping Elliot. And there's Elliot with a turning heel kick. Here comes the pin. 1, 2, oh! Steven Dynamite going for a fast count, but despite the fast count, Elliot still wasn't able to get the 3. Here he comes again. 1, 2, 3, and Steven Dynamite helps Charles Elliot win with a fast count.
Here is
Charles
your winner,
Elliot with the help of Steven Dynamite. Charles Elliot, with the help of Steven Dynamite, keeps control of GTW. Amazing how Charles Elliot actually had that card in the sleeve right there. What a play. What a play by directors Charles Elliot. We were all going to this match thinking that Control GTW was going to completely change hands. But here comes Steven Dynamite making his return as the guest referee, helping Charles Elliot win, and with a fast count. I've never been so happy to see a referee screw another wrestler over. However, I can't help but think, what repercussions will this have for both Charles Elliot and Steven Dynamite coming in Dystopia? And will Hercules make Dynamite pay by beating him for the Grand Tour title at the Rising Sun's main event? Ladies and gentlemen, we still have a whole week ahead. We got house shows coming up live in Japan. This Saturday, we got Dystopia as the Rising Sun's pre-show, where we'll be having the Women's United States title line between Fuego Lopez and Paige Evans. And we still got our pay-per-view event this Sunday, where we have our main event for the Rising Sun, Steven Dynamite versus Hercules, where he will be defending the Grand Tour title 1 year after defeating Hercules for the very same title. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for coming tonight. This is Infinite Fantasy signing out. May your fantasies be infinite.